Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to the 5 days of streaming, night one, day one, Arcade1up, a year in review. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I'm still down with the sickness. That's right. It is still here, but it's okay. We're going to power through. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me on a Monday night, 8 o'clock. This is the first day of the 5 days of streaming. We do this every single year. Take a block of days, 5 days, and let's just talk about all kind of stuff going on, home arcades, kind of looking at the whole year, what happened. And then let's just go back and forth. Let's just talk. Let's just discuss. Let's just opine about how things went and maybe how things are going to go. We're going to do a couple things that we always do on this show. We're going to talk about what I'm drinking. Hopefully you're drinking something nice. Hopefully, once again, you got the week off. You got the week off and you're just chilling, relaxing, having a good time. I got another, this is not an old-fashioned mix. This is an old-fashioned that I had to actually cut together myself, like some sort of animal. I had to make my own old-fashioned. It's horrible. Using some maker's mark with this, so hopefully everybody is partaking of something nice. Let me know in the chat if you're working, if you're off, what's going on. And what we're going to discuss tonight is Arcade1up and maybe some current events, things that happened today. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the poll question. That's right. Every day this week, we're going to be doing some YouTubing, some live streaming, and also we're going to have poll question to get everybody involved. I wanted to know real quick, because I know Arcade1up maybe did not have the banger year they wanted, or that anybody wanted, I guess, but they did have some new products that came out this year. I gathered together, cobbled together my top four, and I want to know what you think about these selections. What was your favorite? What was your favorite Arcade1up product release this year? So we got Terminator 2 Deluxe, you know, you got SpongeBob Claw Machine, you got the Neon Pac-Man, and you got the Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak. Yes, that actually came out this year. Not a lot of new stuff, maybe just like one. I don't know. They're all kind of rehashes in a way, but they are technically new, so they're worth considering. So let me know what hit you most in the feels. Which one did you buy? You know, did you purchase any of them? Or which one did you like the most out of the four? Let me know in the comment section to know. We got a full house tonight, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and commenting early, as you always do. So we're going to do another first 10. That's right, the first 10 comments. We're going to do that this week. Why not? We do it every week. Starting with the number one spot is Game Broker 84. Thank you so much for being here and putting up with the scratchy voice. Day one of the stream. Can't wait for the show. Happy Monday, all. Thank you so much for being here. We got the first super chat from Kevin the Clausen, $2. How dare you, Fox, with all the corruption going on? I know it's very corrupt here on the 19K Fox channel. A lot of nefarious goings on, and unfortunately, you're asking far too many questions. You know where you're going to go, to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
We got Video Game Vegas coming in the number 2 spot. All right. I love Fox's end of the year live streams. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Fox. Thank you for all the great content and conversations. Thank you for always supporting the channel. Thank you for always being here, guys. I really appreciate it. Coming in the number 3 spot, Kevin is back again, fresh out the pit and ready to make another comment. He says, I need some 19K Fox. What? 19K Fox underwear, but I'm actually volunteering at a holiday event this afternoon, and we'll have to watch the replay. That's congrats on the holiday event that you're volunteering for. I have no idea how the 19K Fox underwear fits in. And I don't think I want to know. It's one of those things I'm glad I don't know. But I'll make a note of it. Maybe we'll make some 19K Fox underwear in the merch store I guess. Coming in the number 4 spot, we got Duke 3 Dog. What's going on this holiday? Give the greatest gift of all. Oh my God, Kevin, look what you've done. That being the 19K Fox underwear. Now I have to make it because people are suggesting that you go buy it. Coming in the number 5 spot is Angelo P. And another reference to said underwear. That's great. Just awesome. Let's just move on, shall we? Coming in number 6 spot is Shogun. Almost Christmas time. That's right. Thank you for not mentioning undergarments. Coming in the number 7 spot is going to be Little Alien. Whoa, that was the fastest week I've ever experienced. Absolutely, guys. I hope I can make it for the rest of the show. Coming in the number 8 spot, excuse me, is Milkman Classic 87. Thank you so much for being here, bud. Hey, Fox and chat. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Love the Home Alone reference. Faux show. Coming in the number 9 spot is JJ. What's going on, brother? Is Michael B joining you tonight in 19K Fox? I didn't notice a stream notification for his Monday night show, so assume he is. No, he is taking the week off to spend time with his family. I don't like my family, so I will be here with you. No, just kidding. My family's older, and they don't really need me anymore. It's okay. I'm crying on the inside. His kids, however, still need him to, change them and take care of them and hug them and all that good stuff, and mine get awkward when I do that on the fact that they're, 18 and older. They say it's weird. And coming in the number 10 spot is Brooklyn Menace. Merry Christmas, 19K Fox. Merry Christmas, Brooklyn. Great to see you, bud, as always. We also got Kevin Wong. Excuse me. Kevin's in the house. We got Dan. We got Novasonic 23. We got Dane Bramage is also here. J Rod is up here. What's going on, buddy? Thunder Squid. We got Josh Denny. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. A Tran fanatic, Michael B, is here. Sadly, I can't pick any of the poll options this year. Very sad. Very sad. Sir Sega is also here. We got MSU Rich is also in the house. We got Jen Rummy 76. Nice to see you, man. How's it going? We got Jim Pacers fan, always here, supporting the channel as always. Thorcade. Thor KC Cade. I think that's what you're doing. I can tell by the picture. Oh, I see it. Sorry about your Chiefs, man. But finally, they had to be dethroned. You can only be badass for so long. But congratulations on that. On the long stint that they did have at the top, it was pretty nice for sure. Even though it's kind of fun to hate whoever's on top. John Fritz is also here. Israel Gaming is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Worst Jago. Good to see you, man. Great short today was good. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I'll give everybody more context about that later on, because I think that it's fair to give the proper context. Provolone Joe is also here. It's me, A2. Hey, girl. How you doing? It's always good to see you. Gallagher Guy, what's up, man? We got Jinrod. What's going on? Kneel before Zod. We got Real Paul is also in the house. We got a $2 super chat saying underwear. Josh, come on. You're just piling on at this point. Thank you so much for the super chat. And here you go. They are always appreciated, guys. And why does everyone want Fox on their crotch? Oh, I answered moving on. Triumph or Die is also here. Bob is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Nuzzapalooza. Humbug, what's up? What is up, man? I think that's pretty much everybody. Said hi to. I think if I missed you, I do apologize. Let's get into it, guys. I'm going to rely on you a lot tonight, obviously, to get through some of this stuff. Talking about Arcade1up, man, I wanted to start with a bang, and this is absolutely what I'm doing. Whew, man, Arcade1up. What a storied year this has absolutely been. Still the absolute longest recorded death in human history. This company has been dying for years at this point. This was the year where we thought they were either going to, sink or swim, die or fly, I guess would be the way to describe it. And they didn't disappoint as far as, picking one or the other. And it's been something for sure. The latest and greatest version, still saying, yeah, pretty gravelly, guys. Oh boy, that's not good. And it's going around. It's absolutely going around, man. I got sick Wednesday, and I thought I was over it for the most part, and it's just sticking with me, man. Here we are Monday, and I'm still dealing with it. So it is what it is. If I got to end the show early, I hope you understand why. There is going to be an after show tonight because we got to talk about some other stuff. What about Bob? There he is. Bob's right there. So I want to talk a little bit about Arcade1up. I wanted you guys to let me know what your thoughts were about it. Just talk back and forth about where they are, where we thought they would be, what they brought to the market this year, and the fact that they're still alive in some way, shape, or form is interesting for me. I thought that they would eventually slowly die off, but I had my reservations as far as when that was actually going to happen. I wasn't exactly sure. This year, oh man, infected kidney stone took me out until today. Damn, bro. 103 for 4 days. Man, that is not good. I'm glad you got over that. Man, this is a hell of a, everybody's going through a rough time. Everybody's going through a rough time. Makes me feel like my problems ain't so bad. Jeez. Why do you have to kick Bob out of the house? What are you talking about? Thinking, you think he's gone? He's never gone. Oh man. So from where they started, we didn't really know what was going to happen as far as what they were going to introduce, what products were going to come out. We saw the shift with the Slim Katie's. We saw the shift with the claw machines, and I just didn't. Already there was a trajectory that was going on that I just didn't. I had no interest whatsoever. And I don't know if you know. We got 5.6K subscribers, below 65 watching at this moment. Wait, are you buying subs again? The guy obviously has nothing better to do. Throw stones 3 days before Christmas. We can talk about that too if you want. I think that it is that time of year for sure where we can give gifts and presents, and maybe we do that. Maybe we just give a present because I'm obviously just a sham. just a sham. Yeah, kidney stones are no joke. Extreme pain for 3 days at the age of 25. That's rough. That is rough indeed. Hey, we got a new member, Provolone Joe. Thank you so much for joining and becoming a member. $5 a month, and you get access to all kind of crazy stuff, including some detailed information tonight. We'll talk about that in just a second. Arcade1up has been dying because mismanagement in the financial company. The financial company is probably selling what they can get a return on. Who really knows? Yeah, I think that the talking about where they started and the hope that we had, at the beginning of this year, I absolutely thought that this was going to be one of those years where it's either going to make or break the company. What are they going to do moving forward? And we saw some of the good cabinets, those deluxe cabinets, still exist and still be there. And I thought that was going to be sort of your staple. Okay, that's the foundation that you build on. Let's see what else that they do. And then I just time after time, day after day, month after month would go by. We wouldn't see any new products. And then we would see something new, like, NBA Jam would get announced and nobody really batted an eye at that until we saw the actual design. And my God, it just all started to fall apart from there. Because every time we saw some new design, it was this Slim Katie, that somebody coined. I don't know who coined that phrase or the term, but it was really good. And it was just all downhill. Like the design, everything was bad. Now, I do think that there have been some sparks of not genius, but some reassuring steps that they took for sure. $2 super chat from Gallagher Guy. More bourbon. 60% of the time, it works every time. I don't think it makes any sense. Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for the super chat, buddy. And here you go.
Finish him. Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
You did? Oh boy. Inflation, I guess. Sorry about that. That's weird. But yeah, so I think that honestly, if I could just say one positive thing, I think that hold on. Terminator 2 Deluxe was a positive. I know it came very, very recently, very late in the year. There wasn't that much to really talk about or praise them at all. But I think that was a good move. I think that I would have said the same thing about the Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak version. I would have said that if we didn't already have a big buck deluxe. It was, I mean, it was basically the exact same cabinet, just with a different skin. So that was not anything new. I mean, it technically was new, but there was nothing different about that. The fact that we saw them sort of return to a deluxe form factor with T2, which is which was, I think, a pretty good seller, even though it was way overpriced on the first wave, was definitely a good thing. I think it was. That's just give me the $199 back. I'm supposed to give you the $199 back, brother. Fox, love your content. Stream on. Thank you so much, Provolone Joe. Man, I really do appreciate you. And here you go. I think the cold is going to make me more of an alcoholic. I mean, did I say more? Didn't mean that, guys. Didn't mean that at all. Thanks for super chat again. So I thought that at least that was sort of a step in the right directions. Okay, here we go. Now we can see maybe some of those cabinets that I thought that at least the game itself was a high profile game. See that return in the deluxe form factor. Maybe we were going to see Tron. Maybe we were going to see Dragon's Lair again. Some of these games come back. And for whatever reason, that really didn't happen. We saw Pac-Man Neon. I mean, it became just, what can we do with Pac-Man? That's just what it became. Just like, this is all we have, I think. What can we do with it? It's just wild, man. Absolutely wild. Arcade1up downfall started with The Simpsons. That was my hype. Was way hyped, and nobody purchased them. And then Walmart dumped them for $99. Was the last non-Pac-Man at Walmart. Yeah, that was one of the many. I think there was a big misstep for those second generation 4 players, even though they had some of the absolute bangers. They had the titles, they had the games that people were really, really jonesing for, absolutely dying to get their hands on. And it just didn't, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. It was a combination of things. I think if you look at, let's take a look at The Simpsons for starters. So many issues with that cabinet that were absolutely unnecessary. Knowing what we know now, the PCB just wasn't quite strong enough to run that Simpsons bowling. And the placement of the trackball in the middle was just it's just wrong. It shouldn't have been there. It just became way too crowded. So then you couple that problem with the fact the PCB couldn't really run it. You had to ask yourself, why not just make that a single game cab? Why not just make it Simpsons and just let it ride? We saw them do that with not Ridge Racer. We saw them do that with Terminator 2. Why not just go for it? I mean, Simpsons is a pretty big brand. I think you could have, back then, you still could have had a $400, $500 4-player, and it probably could have worked. You would not have had the complaint of a game that was poor, and you would not have had the complaint of the trackball being in the damn way. What if you didn't even want the bowling game? What if you didn't even want Simpsons bowling and you just wanted the Simpsons arcade game? You were stuck with this thing. It's not like it was just the same controls and it was just a game that was on there. Those were annoying, but if it was something like, the X-Men 97 cabinet or the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet where they had those stupid console games, you just don't select them, right? That's all you do. You just don't select them. But you just go on about your day. The problem is that it would muddy up your control panel when you're adding, trackballs and all that. It was just a problem. So they should have never done it to begin with. That was just that one. And then you go over to the X-Men cab, and they've added buttons for games that sucked. That could have just been a 2-game cab. The Data East Avengers game was just a waste of space. It was a waste. It should have never been put on the cab. You could have just had, X-Men and Captain America, and I think it probably would have been good enough. Too bad the Spider-Man 4-player was a Sega cab. That would have been nice to have that on there if Marvel was going to be kind of your theme. So let's see. Where are we at so far? I misplay. Here we go. Boom. I know that hope isn't a strategy, but wishing for better days ahead for Arcade1up and Basic Fun. And pray they take the best of each features and ideas, merge them into what diehard fans really want. There is some positivity there is a takeaway. I think there's an absolute positive takeaway from what we're seeing with Arcade1up selling portions of itself off to Basic Fun. For whatever reason, take basic fun out of it for just a second. For whatever reason, Arcade1up was moving away from arcade games. Really, I mean, they were trying to make something else happen. They were keeping Pac-Man around, but they wanted to have claw machines and casino cades and the photo booth and all that stuff. They were trying to do all these other things, the infinity game tables, something other than arcade cabinets. I think the reason they did that is because they knew they only had access to so many licenses. I think they knew that they could only go so far with arcade games. So they knew that was limiting. So what can they do? What could we possibly do? Well, they tried other things. So there's been this push on them from Arcade1up to try different things, non-arcade stuff. Basic Fun seems to be embracing the arcade cabinets. So if their focus truly is arcade cabinets only, this could be an absolute win for us because Arcade1up can still be around to make all their other stuff, the infinity game tables and photo booths and all that stuff. They can make all that stuff, and Basic Fun can focus on the arcade cabinet. So there is a future here, a very optimistic view we could take, and I don't think it would be just foolish to think this. I think it's absolutely a possibility that we could see maybe the best of both worlds happening. If you like claw machines and infinity game tables and those types of items and things, and Arcade1up's not going to go anywhere. They're going to continue to make that stuff. And then we're going to have Basic Fun making the arcade cabinets. Now, this is basically just all our theory at this point. We don't really know who's getting what. We don't know exactly what assets were purchased. But I tend to think that that's what is going to go. That's the way the split is going to go. Now, it could be a little bit more. It could be a little bit less. Who knows? The percentages could be a little bit off. Maybe they got all the arcade cabinets and the claw machines, or maybe they just got a couple of the cabinets. Maybe they're gonna hold on. Maybe Arcade1up is gonna hold on to Pac-Man. You never know. It's very much a possibility. So then you'll still have Pac-Man in all of its variations and versions, and then their other stuff, claw machines and all that. So once again, still could be a win, no matter which way you slice it, I think. Do you have a store in Ohio? No, I have an online store, but I do not have an actual physical store. We need a Tron Slim Katie. I know it's kind of, when you say it out loud and think about it, that's probably a really bad idea. Yeah, probably really a bad idea. I find The Simpsons arcade boring after a bit. That's the thing about all these beat 'em ups. You got to be a real fan of beat 'em ups to see the replay value in them, because they can be absolutely repetitive for sure. Yep, I agree. Absolute waste. Waste of licensing dollars. Absolutely, man. You got to talk about calculated risk. You got to understand, and this is where we want to make it. I want to make light of it. I think some of us just want to kind of say, "Oh, just go get this license," and the money is just going to roll in. It's probably not that simple, obviously, right? First off, maybe you can't get that license, or maybe that license is very expensive. It's gettable, but it's very expensive. So now you got to go back and talk to the people that are going to actually buy these cabinets. And for Arcade1up, it was the retailers. Well, what are the retailers interested in? You got to have people, retailers like Spreetail to be involved and figure out, okay, what are you willing to purchase? Because at the end of the day, the retailers had the money. They were buying the cabs. Wasn't necessarily you and I. I like selling portions of myself for basic fun. Well, that's I bet you, hey, easy now. Come on. Let's not put you in a box. $10 super chat. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat, man. I love it. Can we just talk about the fact we still don't have a NARC arcade cabinet? There are so many incredible Midway and Sega games out there, true arcade classics that should at this point have already been made. Now, when you're talking about Midway, just 1 second. Where is it? I think it might be this one. All the way back on the PS2. I've got all three of these games, but you'll remember the Midway arcade treasures. Yeah. And this included, this one has NARC on it, right? I think this one does. Yeah. Does it have NARC? This one does not have NARC. Might be the first one. There it is, NARC. Yeah. PS2. And these were just incredible. I've had these forever, man, and so much fun. So yeah, PS2, they already knew that we got to get these compilations together all the way back then So early 2000s, they knew that there was some money to be made there. And yeah, so if they could have seen it back then, and I know that it's a different type of animal, right? To put a compilation together and put it on a disc in 2002. All right, that's one thing. Justifying the purchase of a $500 cabinet, all right, I get it. But here is the point that I think you're making. The focus should be on the arcade enthusiasts, the people that actually know what that cabinet looks like. They know that if you put that in a dynamo, it's, you're going to be like, no, what are you doing? That's wrong. You got to put it in this cabinet. It was a very distinct shape and a very cool cabinet. Even if it was just part of the compilation, even if it was part of the deluxe, the legacies, that would at least have been something to see that happen. But where is that focus now going to be what we see from Basic Fun? To have what we've always asked for, have a few deep cuts throughout the year. I will say this, Arcade1up had all the time in the world. They had all the momentum. Back then, they had no competition, and they had an online presence of a bunch of goofballs like me telling them exactly what we wanted. And they didn't do it. Will Basic Fun make the same mistake? Thank you so much for your $10 super chat, man, and here you go.
Here's that damn torpedo.
It's ready, Jim. Lock and load.
Fire.
Okay, we have Sir Sega saying mixed matched control panels are why I never picked up a Burger Time. Yeah, 4 joysticks on that cab killed it for me. Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things. If you want to make a generic multiplayer cabinet, not a multiplayer cabinet, not like a multi-cade, but a deluxe cabinet where all the games fit the control scheme, and they all make sense, the legacies is what I'm talking about, right? Then you can get away with fighter style cabs or a Pac-Man style cab. But if you're going to go with something very distinct enough to where you're going to shape the whole cab in that, then you have to continue that on through the controls. You absolutely have to. Is that going to limit the games you can put on it? Yes. But that's okay. That's all part of the arcade recreation. Absolutely. I would bet the Basic Fun got the right to continue making whatever Costco tells them to make. You're probably right. They have earned the right to do what they're told. That was all part of the deal. That's right. Yeah. We purchased submission. that was only obey. That was what they purchased. Yeah, that was part of the deal. All part of the deal. My brother Snowdub, how you doing, man? I still see some cabs at Best Buy, but I never see them at Walmart anymore. Yeah, man, it's been really, really bad. I have a YouTube short video talking about this, and it just said very sad. And it was my tour of an aisle in Walmart, and that video has almost 500,000 views because I think it's just one of those things that people just jump on, and I get 1,000 views on that stupid video every day. It's wild. But I think it's something that's everybody easily identified. It was like Walmart and these 1-ups. That's where we saw them back in the day when all this started. That's where you went. You just went to Walmart, and there they were. And eventually you could see them at Best Buy. But Walmart was like where they were at. To see them in a Target was kind of weird. To see them here and over there. We saw them in like the Ollie's discount stores. Every once in a while you'd see like a first gen pop up. But Walmart was where they were at. To not see them anymore is crazy. I did the soft mod to The Simpsons, which made it much more enjoyable. That's sad that you had to do that, but I'm glad that you were able to do it. Kind of saved the whole cab for you, I would imagine. Yeah, man. I love those. Yeah, the third one. I've got the third one. All the racing cabs. The racing games. Now, and that's the thing about it, man. Some of these talk about classics. So if you don't know what he's talking about, this is the third game in that same series I was talking about. San Francisco Rush, Hydro Thunder, Super Off-Road, Badlands, Race Driving, Stun Runner, which is an incredible game. San Francisco Rush 2049 and Off-Road Thunder. Absolute classics. So if you've got a PS2 that's still up and running, there's plenty of them out there, and you're looking to kind of maybe scratch the itch on some of these midway classics, man, pick up a set of these. There's 3 of them, and they're worth every penny. They're worth every penny to just because they play really well too. And you can even see some deep cuts on the first version. They've got some of my favorites. You're really going to notice this one. Road Blasters is actually on here. Yes, sir. That's on there. Spy Hunter, Defender. I mean, this thing was just like, it's like, I guess nobody was buying, and like no other company was trying to get these arcade ROMs, the licensing from Midway. And so they just put them all on these discs. I mean, all the good stuff. And I'm not even talking about the whole second disc, just the first disc. Vindicators, Smash TV is on here. You got Marble Madness, Gauntlet 4-player, Rampage 3-player, Rampart 3-player, Super Sprint 3-player. I mean, it was just incredible. So they're out there. They're out there. They're worth it. Like I said, if you've got a PS2 up and running and you don't have this collection, you should absolutely get your hands on it. It's a great way to just scratch that itch. Now, why don't we have an HD remake? I don't know. I would love to have all those 3 on some big badass Blu-ray PS5 disc, or maybe 2 discs, and have all those games back on there. I would love to have that and be able to play that on my big screen. That would be incredible. Even though I have Road Blasters there, all those racing cabinets are incredible. And if you could do that and then hook up a steering wheel, a PS5 steering wheel, and play some of those little racers, can you imagine how insane that would be? Because then all you got to do, you could mimic that. You could have that recreation, have that experience. And that would be so awesome. I'm actually playing around with a PS2 steering wheel now for that same reason. I want to be able to kind of capitalize on that and play it on my CRT over here. Bourbon. Yeah, I have the Arcade Treasures on PS2. They are great compilations of arcade games. Absolutely. How do I find your online store? I will link it in the description. Give me just 1 second. I appreciate the enthusiasm for wanting to check out the store. It's very nice. What is all going on? I'm looking at my links. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I got some links that I didn't know I had. Let me just click on that, copy that, and I will post this over here in the live stream, the live chat right now. Why is that there? All these ads. I tell you what, man. Ads everywhere. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'll say here is, and I'm sorry, there, as of right now, there are no underwear for purchase. Maybe in the future we'll do that, but for right now, you're gonna have to just deal with all the other just regular stuff. To my store, and then let me click that. Let me link that. Boom. Awesome, and then I will pin it. It'll be the pinned comment. And yeah, check it out if you don't mind. Jump over there and just see it if you like something. If not, no big deal. But check it out. You can have the hats. I think are okay. They're not quite as nice as some of the other hats I had in my other store. But like the stickers and the hoodies and the t-shirts are all pretty cool. And there's stuff that hopefully you'll find that you like. Video Game Vegas says, I think it would be amazing to see iArcade come back now with all the retro-inspired games coming out. Could you imagine an original Marvel Comics Invasion? Oh, dude. Or Shinobi Art of Vengeance Cap. Don't even play with my emotions. Oh, my gosh. I would, especially the Shinobi game is beautiful. So here's my dilemma, right? I'm a physical media guy. I downloaded the demo, and obviously of Shinobi, and you can obviously play that game now. You can download the whole damn game. I have it pre-ordered from Limited Run because that's the only place you can get it. It won't be here till March. I know. So I don't know what to do. I think maybe get it on Steam, and then when the disc comes in, I can play on PC. I don't know what to do. I'm just beside myself because that game is just incredibly beautiful, and of course, the Marvel Cosmic Invasion just looks just awesome. And once again, I've also pre-ordered that. Best Buy. That's going to be, I forget when I think it's coming next month. So I got a little bit of time to wait on that. $20 super chat from my brother B Kirby. Man, thank you so much for your super chat. That is awesome. Basic Fun now owns everything arcade related from Tastemakers. Why does anyone think that Tastemakers still owns the brand name Arcade1up that don't make arcades anymore. The name is an asset also, which is a good point of clarification. My assumption was that Arcade1up would exist, would carry on, and then represent those other products. And then since Arcade Classics exists over on the Basic Fun side, that would just be absorbed into that. But what you're saying is just as valid. Until we hear for sure, we won't really know. But that's all part of the fun of the speculation, right? Man, thank you so much again for your $20 super chat, brother. Really do appreciate it. And here you go.
Can't you do any better?
There was only one Walmart here in the East Valley that has any Arcade1up cabinets or risers. It's a sad time. It's a very, very sad time. Yeah, so I feel like they should have done more direct to consumer. We talked about this at length, because if you can remember back in the day, they hired a person named Liv, a sales rep named Liv, who came over from Hasbro and was part of the whole Hasbro Pulse direct to consumer team. And we thought that made all the sense in the world. She was going to come over, and that was going to be sort of the initiative she was going to be focused on. And that was a very exciting time, because we thought finally they will simply all Arcade1up would have to do is come up with a concept of a game. So maybe they give a list out there, or maybe they just say, hey, Robotron or Cubert or Alien versus Predator or Smash TV, and they could just make a render, put it up on the website, and give a theoretical games list, features, and then say, here's the price. Would you be willing to back this? Would you be willing to fund this? Now, I understand GoFundMe's and all that stuff, and Kickstarters may, some of the brands may have shied away from that, because that would appear to devalue that license, that specific license particularly. But I think that if you go with a direct-to-consumer model, this becomes sort of a premium product, a focus on the quality, a focus on the accurate recreation. And I think that you could have positioned yourself in that way with the license holder and say, listen, we want to show off your product in the best possible light. And we want to get the most excited fans attached to it. They want to grab onto it. They want it in the most accurate way possible. So it's a combination of giving the fans what they want and also portraying or showing off that license in the best possible way, right? So it's like a win-win type deal. To see that happen once would have been nice, but we never saw it at all. So they could have come up with something, fill in the blank, let's say Smash TV, and put it out there and say, hey, would anybody be willing to buy this for whatever, 500, 600, whatever? And then and just generate buzz and see what the feedback is, And listen, not everything's going to get backed, but if it's done within the confines of Arcade1up's website and not a generic Kickstarter, it's a little bit of a different animal. Now, I think the difference is Hasbro was doing that for Hasbro products, right? Whereas Arcade1up will be doing that for other products. So Warner Brothers would have the Midway license, Capcom and Sega and all these other companies, right? They would own those games, So they would be on their website showcasing another brand. Maybe that's why they couldn't make that work. I don't know. It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame for sure. Arcade1up by Tastemakers is dead. Arcade1up by Basic Fun is poised to leave behind the mistakes of the past and or continue them indefinitely. Yeah, I think the takeaway is that Arcade1up, the name, lives on regardless. It will either stay where it is and represent sort of different items, I agree it would be weird if there were no arcades made by Arcade1up, if it was just claw machines and all that, but stranger things have happened. Or Arcade1up, the Arcade1up name will transfer over to Basic Fun, and that will be Basic Fun's arcade arm. That will be, so the name Arcade Classics goes away and Arcade1up takes over. It's interesting. I can't wait to see how all this shakes out. No, Snow Dubs has been my friend for a very long time. One of those guys that supported me when I stepped away from YouTube for a while. Had to get some personal stuff together, and he's been there through thick and thin. So Snowdub is an excellent dude. Do we know if Basic Fun or Arcade1up will be at CES this year? We do not. We do not, as of now. I say we. I don't know. I have not heard either way. I don't know that that's going to happen, because I think that will be the changing of the guard will happen the beginning of the year. And I think that it's going to take them a while to get their stuff together, but I think that by the summertime, we should see a real realigning of the brand, and things will sort of be finalized by summer, early summer, maybe. I don't know. And it will be hopefully full steam ahead on whatever the hell direction they're going to follow. What will follow? I don't know. Works on the original PS3. So the backwards compatible PS3, yes. Unfortunately, does not work on the newer PS3s, which I wish I still had a backwards compatible one, but they tend to overheat pretty bad. Announcements during CES, but not there, is my guess. Somehow Toy Shock, the cockroach of the arcade industry. Nuclear bomb goes off, and they'll still be there. No one asking for them, no one even knowing why they're still around, but they're there. It's like, hey guys, we're still here. Really? Okay. 2026 is the year. I don't think so. I don't know, guys. I really hope that Iconic can get this product to market, because I think that everybody that pre-ordered that still has a pre-order really wants that cabinet, and I want it to be good, and I want the problem to be that they just can't make enough of them, because that means that everybody's happy, and that means we're going to get more stuff, and maybe Iconic can be the XL size, and Basic Fun can sort of stay the 3/4. So they just need to get Street Fighter done first. Don't say anything else about Double Dragon. Every single effort, every single communication should be focused on Street Fighter 2. You should be saying, damn, stop with all the updates. That's what you should be saying. It says there's too many updates. No, that's the opposite problem that we have right now. We need so many damn updates. We should know exactly every in and out of this product before it gets here. Not a bad idea. I like where your head's at. Let me scroll down just a little bit. Wasn't Dragon's Lair direct to consumer? Was it direct to consumer? I don't know that it really was. I know that there was that in the Space Ace version that they had sort of announced. I don't know. You might have a point there, because I can't remember. I remember all that going on. I can't remember the context of it. I thought they straight up announced both. And then there was some kind of a amendum or an update, and they just decided they were just going to go with Dragon's Lair. I can't remember, because I remember the original plan for Dragon's Lair was you're going to have to take your phone and put it above the display, so they were going to have the regular 17-inch monitor, and then you were going to have to actually take your cell phone and put it up there. That's what originally happened. And then that changed. And when that changed, I think they said, to hell with it. We're just going to go with Dragon's Lair, and that's it. Bourbon, you help everything. Bourbon makes everything better. Not really. That was a joke. I believe DMAC made a key statement. He mentioned Arcade1up chasing the big retail again. It's that model, I think, is kind of sailed. Well, always. I mean, that's why would I not wear those? That makes perfect sense. We're moving on, trying to move on. Neo is here saying Basic Fun will be at CES in some form, and not sure if it's on site or nearby. So that's good clarification. And Iconic did the same thing last year when I was there. They were at a hotel, Caesar's Palace. They were not actually on the convention floor. Iconic can't show up at CES and announce a cabinet after their last cabinet still wasn't released. Well, I think that you're right, but that doesn't mean they won't make that mistake. I think that they absolutely should not announce anything else until Street Fighter comes out. Stumbling out of the gate is fine if you can recover. But if you can't recover, or if you're in the middle of your recovery, the last thing you need to do is talk about some new thing. No. That would be my advice. Faux show. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I still want to see gameplay. I still want to see the UI. I still want to see how this all functions and works, and how it boots up. I want to see it all. Everybody wants to see it all. How does it play? We all want to see it all. See everything. Show it off. And then just your problem can be something else. Your problem can be, oh, well, they can't make enough. Wouldn't that be a nice problem to have? Arcade1up Space Ace was all dependent on the sales of their Dragon's Lair, okay, which weren't great. Some loved Arcade1up's Dragon's Lair, but it wasn't a big seller. Took a while to sell out of stock. So that was that. Well, that makes sense. That puts that in perspective. Thank you for reminding me about that. I think that was all. That was still the problem is for me with Tron and Dragon's Lair. That was still the riser era of Arcade1up. And to me, that just broke up the design enough to where I wasn't interested. And they were charging a premium at the time. I really wish they could have made those the first deluxes, because I'm telling you, man, a solid, I know it's not technically solid. They're stacked on each other, but a solid looking side panel would have been epic for those cabinets because they are so unique and so big and all that stuff. So that's just my 2 cents about that. So, we'll talk about the poll question in a minute, but I do want to go ahead and talk about the video that was shown today about me. Merry Christmas, right? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way real quick. Biggie D, once again, is at it again, I guess, if that makes any sense. And took a shot at old 19K Fox, feeling under the weather. But I figured, what the hell? Let's take it in. So here's the latest short video. Buying views to stay relevant. Well, that's hurtful, but let's go ahead and watch the video and just see if maybe I'm just misjudging his intent. Oh, sorry.
On 19K Fox. I was watching a little bit of his stream last night. Caught the last probably 5 minutes of his stream. Saw he only had about 250, maybe max 300 views at the end of the stream. I was like, all right, maybe he had a bad weekend. It's Christmas week. Probably not as many people tuned in during the Christmas break as usual, right? Well, I remembered, Arcade Insiders had said this week, go check out Social Blade. Some of these creators, you're going to find some things you're shocked by, right? So I did. And man, boy, oh boy, 19K Fox. He has got to get a grip, man. If he's going to grow his channel, he should do it organically. He should do it through quality content. Maybe being a better person would be a good route. However, this dude, I can't say for a fact because there's no way we can prove this unless he were to show us his actual analytics or the money he spent to do this. But
small detail, right?
Based on what we can find and the evidence we do have, it definitely points to a lot of clues that he's buying subscribers. Obviously, he's buying views, and he's been doing this for a really long time, guys. He's totally trying to make people think and make his channel appear like it's successful, but it's actually declining rapidly, guys.
You didn't know that?
He is losing subscribers. He's losing views, and the only way he's able to maintain it is through these types of methods.
I'm dying, guys.
So go check out this article because I've broken it all down for everyone.
Broke it down.
And you'll be able to see exactly how he operates.
There we go.
And again, guys, I want you guys to take this and, read it, review it, but also keep in mind we cannot prove this.
Can't prove any of it.
This is all speculation based on what we can see. Okay, so put down in the comments, what do you think about this? Do you approve of our content creators in the home arcade space using these kind of methods to stay relevant?
Oh my God.
Or do you think he should go ahead and show his audience, I need to do better and do that through hard work and honesty? Let me know in the chat or in the comments, I should say.
Hard work and honesty. Lot of personal insults in there. So let's just try to take this apart, I guess. step at a time. First off, and let's just be clear, I was not contacted at all. I didn't reach out to Fox for comment. Didn't ask me, hey, Fox, how is your amazing channel going? How are you doing such a great thing? Which is funny because this channel is pretty small. I mean, I appreciate everybody and everything that you do and all that, but like, I'm not knocking it out of the box here. I think I'm doing I think I'm doing well for my own personal standards, but there's not some insane growth. A lot of personal attacks, a lot of accusations, a lot of, things that I think that were way out of line. I need to be a better person, implying that I'm a bad person. Okay. I guess that's your opinion. But I'm obviously buying subs and buying views, and I'm just a horrible person. And that's, like I said, that's a lot to take in. So for starters, let's just go ahead and pretend like I was asked, hey, Fox, are you buying subs and buying views? No, I'm not. Now you're going to say, well, that's what you're just saying that, prove it. Well, that's the problem, guys. You can't prove what's not happening. I can't prove to you that I didn't go to a random website and buy views or subs. I can't prove something that I didn't do, because you don't get a receipt for not doing something. You do get a receipt for doing something. So if I had a receipt for, I bought this, then I could show you, here it is. So that's the trap you find yourself in when you're confronted by people like this. And it's a shame, because on his channel back in August of 2024, when I was experimenting with the brand new feature at the time called promotions, I actually went out of my way to explain why at that time I had a little bit of growth. Here's what I'm talking about. Let me show you a clip of that. This was his Chill and Chat episode 74, when I thought he and I were friends. Here you go. Digital VPN. But if you don't mind, I'd like to respond to Rexer, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, I was going to actually, I was going to delete that comment because I didn't think it was appropriate.
No. Bring it up.
I couldn't in Restream. So
no, there's no need to delete that. No, bring it up.
All right, let me find.
One about the YouTube channel growth.
It may be in here, but I think Carl may have deleted it. Maybe. I can't find it.
Well, his question, okay.
Oh, wait, here, honest question. Here it is. I found it.
Why is he leaving?
Says, at 19K Fox, can you share how you're getting 100 to 200 subs per day without making content? Help us low-level YouTubers. Absolutely. I didn't think it was appropriate that he asked that on the show.
No, it is appropriate. No, it is. Listen, everybody who watches my show, they know I'm an open book. I shared this with my members-only live stream. I shared it in much more detail. This is a long process. I have a video plan for the end of August, but I will. Listen, and Rexer's not blocked on my channel. I don't know why he thinks he has to do this. What I did for the channel, and it's a fair question, because my channel was growing at about 150 subs a month-ish, and then all of a sudden, boom, holy crap, what is he doing? It's crazy. What I did, and this is for all YouTubers, so anybody who is in this space, this is the abbreviated version. I'm going to have a much more detailed video because I want to have 1 month after this process is over, so I can give you all the information. What you do is you go into YouTube Studio. There's a promotion tab. Go all the way to the promotion tab. So it was a calculated thing. I know some people thought that I bought views. I would prefer you just ask me.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you.
That's always better to just ask someone straight out, the question rather than speculate.
Yeah, it's always better just to ask somebody straight out rather than speculate. When I've been the most transparent about this very issue for a year and a half now, and I think that's why it kind of got under my skin today, guys, because every day, well, not every day, but all the time, I know that I'm being called names. Today I was called a bastard. I've been on YouTube thumbnails being called a douchebag. All that's fine. It is what it is. It's all part of it. But on this particular issue, when I have been upfront and honest, more honest than anybody else in this space, other people will lie to you and pretend like, no, it's all organic. When I was experimenting with things, I was upfront, went out of my way to address it, while Biggie D was going to try to, and I think he was being very nice to the guest that was on his show. He was going to just delete it and move on. But I demanded that we talk about that because I wanted to address it, because I legitimately think it's important. I don't think that people need to be deceived by anybody they're watching. I think that I have an obligation to everybody to be honest with you as far as what I'm doing and why you see weird stuff going on. I think that's just appropriate. And if you want to ask a question about it, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't shy away from any of these questions, whether it's Rexer, whether it's anybody else. It doesn't matter, because I do think the questions are legitimate. I have never shied away from any of this at all. Now, the question being now, am I currently buying subs or even doing promotions? The answer is no. I have not done any promotions since July of this year. I have done a total of 7 different promotions on different types of videos at different points within the last year and a half. The last one being in July of 2025. And it was a short period of time. Now, in the after show today, for those of you who actually want to see all the details, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to lock it behind a paywall. That's right. If you want to find out all the details, stay tuned for the after show. My members are going to get a sneak peek right behind I'm going to lift the veil. I'm going to pull back the curtain, and you're going to see every dollar amount that I've ever spent on every video I did, which is only 7, and when I spent it. You're going to see it all. And if you want to see it, you got to pay me $5. That's the way this is going to go, because no, not everybody deserves to know everything about my analytics. So if you want to know, you're going to have to pay for it. That's right. So let's see how curious you really are. Now, all of the personal attacks, I take them with a grain of salt. But when it comes to my integrity, I am going to address it head on. So, Merry Christmas, Biggie D. You got a little bit of a shout out on my show. But I also think that if you had any integrity of your own, you would have come to me and asked me directly. But that's only for mature adults. And I think that's something you just haven't quite attained yet. So go ahead and stay in your hole, lob your grenades, your personal attacks, your lies. Do them all. Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, when you have real integrity, you will just take everything head on. Answer every question, which is what I've done from the very beginning. And it does blow my mind that you are so obtuse about this. You didn't even bother to check your own channel when I was on with you and I addressed this very same issue. So maybe take a step back and just do just a little bit of research. I know you said in your short you did some research. Maybe you were just looking at, I don't know, the funny pages or a roll of toilet paper. Maybe put just a little more effort in. We did have a couple super chats. I do want to say, I want to acknowledge real quick. I appreciate you kind of allowing me to be on that rant. I know that was a rant. I know that's probably not exactly what you wanted to talk about for, this 5 days of streaming, but we got to talk about it. G.I. Joe becomes a member. It's about damn time, sir. Thank you so much for becoming a member. $5 super chat from my very good friend, Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. Been a fan of the channel, been a supporter of the channel in more ways than just monetary. Always been a friend. He's been a great face to see whenever we go up to Chicago. Thank you so much for being here again, buddy. And thank you for your $5 super chat. I'm really glad you pay me to watch you, brother. I'm closing in on $2 million from your watching. Hey, listen, I do what I can. I want to make sure everybody is engaged as much as possible. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. And where's it at? Oh, I know. Here you go. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You won't take the gift I'm giving you, huh? That data doesn't back up what you're saying because you're full of shit. Biggie D, you make claims that don't require anything. That's what you do. You just say things about people who have never treated you poorly at all, never said anything to you. You want to make personal attacks on people, completely unfounded. That's what you do. So I don't know what you're trying to say here, but yeah, let's go ahead and we can dig in absolutely in the members only live stream if you pay me $5. And when did you unban me? I unbanned you today. If you were paying attention, which is something I think you struggle with, I made it very clear. No. I want to make sure that those communication lines are open. So you are not banned, sir. Come on in and let's talk about it, because I have very little patience for people that continue to lie and make up narratives without doing the most basic thing and asking the person involved. You, sir, are a coward. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for $2 super chat, brother. Merry Christmas to you. And I got to give you something different. Here you go.
Let's go.
Wolverine win. Rookie.
Now, what's this? I presented everything for free. You put it under a paywall, but to each their own. You're damn right, boy, because allegations are free, but information is going to cost you something. You want to lash out at me and tell lies? That's okay. That didn't cost you nothing because you didn't do any research. I got the information, boy, so you're going to have to pay for it. That's right. To each their own. You're damn right, to each their own, because you have nothing to stand on but lies and false allegations. But that's all you are. And I'm not having it. Not today. It's Christmas time. That's right. Anybody else got something to say? If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But before we do, let's go ahead and talk about that lovely little poll question. That's right. So the poll question was simply this. Of all the great, wonderful things that Arcade1up gave to us this year, all the wonderful, beautiful things that Arcade1up gave to us this year, which one was your favorite? The T2, the SpongeBob Claw Machine, the Neon Pac-Man, or the Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak? Going to go ahead and close this down, wrap it up, and the winner, let's just skip to the top. Let's just skip to the top. The winner, and this is why this country is in the shape it's in. It's the Neon Pac-Man at 32%. How dare all of you? This is what happens. This is how we've gotten here. No, this is why they keep making Pac-Man. I can't fault them for it. If everybody keeps buying Pac-Man, they're just going to keep making Pac-Man. That's right. We have another sneaky little super chat coming in here from JR. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. Merry Christmas, everyone. I enjoy watching Fox stream every week and hanging out with all of you. JR, thank you so much, man, for continuing to support the channel, being one of the real, actual supporters, and not one of those crazy fake ones. So, members, stay right here. You're going to be automatically redirected to the after show, where I'm going to show you all the details, all the juicy details, all the actual information, and not the lies, deceit, exaggerations. And there'll be more attitude. There'll be more bourbon. But most importantly, there's going to be more fun. Listen, we got to take all this in stride, guys. We got to have fun with it. And I think that's what we're doing tonight. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. So hang out with me in the after show. I'm going to answer everybody's questions, because I want to make sure, especially my members, are the most informed members on the planet. And so you're going to know everything about the channel, and I'm going to display everything for you. So talk to everybody tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be day 2 out of 5 days of streaming. Let's see what other mischief and angst we can get into. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by and checking out the channel. You have a blessed day, and I will see all of you right back here next time. Peace.